Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are doing a slightly different video. We're not looking at the new releases of Gymshark. We are doing a haul of all of their Gymshark leggings. So I do have about 15 pairs of leggings here, all from different collections to show you, to review, to do a try on. So hopefully to help you out a little bit when it comes to choosing the pair of leggings that's perfect for you. I did do one of these videos for shorts and lots of people said they enjoyed it. So I thought I would also do one for leggings as we are now going into the cooler months in the UK at least. So it is mainly leggings, but I do also have a few pairs of the flared leggings as well to show you, just a few of my favorites. But before we get started, don't forget you can use my code TORIFIT10 to get an extra 10% off the website, and I think that is on full priced items only at the minute. It does change when there's like big sales, and obviously we might be having a big sale coming up next month, so you might want to hold on till then if you can last another month. But yeah, at the minute it's just full price items, and please let me know if you do, because I would love to thank you, and also because I'm interested to see what you pick up. Anyway, let's just get started. So starting with, I think, my favorite pair of gym leggings, and I think most people's favorite pair of gym leggings, and these are the Adapt Animal leggings. I will be putting try on clips on the screen here, either side, I'm not sure. But yeah, these are the Adapt Animal leggings. They've had quite a few different pairs of these. They had the Adapt Safari, then they had Adapt Animal, and then these are the newest type of Adapt Animal that came out, I think a few months ago now. These are my favourites. So these have the zebra print, I think it is. The previous ones were more like a snake print, and then the ones before that with the Safari were more like a leopard print. So yeah, they have slightly different prints. Really comfortable. Obviously you can see that they do have the scrunch bum as well, which is really flattering. They are slightly thicker material, which does make them a bit more compressive, especially around the waistband. But I think it just holds you in really nicely. I do find that they're really easy to mold to your body, and once they're on, they stay in place really well, which is great. Still quite stretchy, and I also find the length of them is really good, especially if you are taller. I'm 5'5" with longer legs, and they do come just over my ankles, so I think if you are taller, you are going to be absolutely fine wearing these. And if you're not a big fan of prints or patterns, but you do like the feel of these leggings, go for the black ones, because they have like a black and a grey, like a tonal black kind of colour, and it's like much harder to see the print as it is compared to these ones or other ones they've had previously. For sizing for these, I think I would say stay true to size as much as possible, and if you are in between, size up, just so you have a bit more material to work with and you're not feeling too compressed, especially around the waist. But definitely my go-to pair of gym leggings. Okay, next up we have Gymshark's OG pair of leggings. These are the Vital Seamless. So these are the Vital Seamless 2.0, which is their newer version. I think they brought out last year. I think it was last year. But yeah, absolutely love these for in the gym, out of the gym, for running especially. They are super stretchy and soft, but they are a thicker material as well, similar to the Adapt Animal. They are going to give you a bit of compression and support. The waistband on these I find is quite tight. It's very high-waisted, so do take that into account. If you are between sizes, I probably would size up. But I do think they look really flattering. It does also have these like small breathable holes, so despite it being a bit thicker, it's going to keep you cool if you're in or out of the gym. The last thing to note on these is that they don't have a scrunch bum. Instead, they have a single seam. I think Gymshark do this a lot for their collections that don't have a scrunch bum. They just have a single seam running down the glutes to help separate the glutes and make them look flattering without having that scrunch. So definitely a good option if you're not too keen on scrunch leggings. Okay, sticking with Vital, but these are the newer Vital Sculpt. So I have them in this crazy bright red, but they do have other colours as well. This colour is definitely giving Christmas, which I kind of like. But yeah, the clue is in the name. These are more sculpting because they do have a scrunch bum on the back. I do also think they changed the material slightly for these Vital Sculpt in comparison to the 2.0. So these are a bit softer and more stretchy as well. So if you want a bit more room or like to have extra material to like mold to your body and act more like a second skin, then maybe go for these ones instead of the Vital Seamless. Again, that's super high ribbed waistband. It's a double thickness, so it's still going to really hold you in, and with the detailing going down the leg like the 2.0 as well, if you can see that. For sizing for these, again, stay true to size unless you are in between, then size up. I think I wear a small in every single pair of these leggings, so I do think Gymshark are very consistent with their sizing. So whatever size you've gone for in another collection or pair of leggings, I think I would just stick the same and try that again. Okay, sticking with Vital once more, these are the new Vital Warm leggings. I absolutely love these. I'm really happy Gymshark have come out with a thicker legging that is more for outdoor activities, or if you're like working out in a warehouse gym. These are perfect. So these are the Vital material, but they are even thicker, which you think they would be like really tight and compressive and just restrictive, but they're not at all. They still have lots of stretch in them. They're really soft, and on the inside they do have a fleecy lining. It's super soft in there, which makes them really comfortable like against your body. I do absolutely love these. They also have some detailing. I think the holes again just make them more breathable, which is great if you are working out outside, so you're not going to get too hot despite needing that little bit of extra warmth. I also think these would be really good for skiing as a base layer, like under your salopettes. So yeah, definitely an option. The last thing to note, again, they just have that single seam down your glutes, if you can see that. I would say that these aren't as flattering as the Vital 2.0 or the Vital Sculpt, obviously, that has the scrunch bottom. But in terms of having that single seam, I find that the Vital 2.0 is easier to mold around your glutes to make them look flattering, where this one is a bit harder because the material is a bit thicker. I still think they're going to be such a staple pair for winter running this year. Next, moving on to another fan favorite. These are the Whitney leggings that I have in this lovely baby pink. I have so many of these leggings. I think because they are the most versatile, like you can wear them in the gym and they feel comfortable and supportive. You can wear them on runs because they stay up really well, allow you to move. There's so much stretch in them, but then also like on rest days or doing lighter activity like walks or just running errands, these are definitely a legging that you can wear all day long. The material is super stretchy and it is that buttery, silky, soft feeling. So once they're on, they do give you that second skin kind of feel, which is so nice. They have a really high waistband and I love the detailing with the two seams running around the waist and then down into a V, again into that like subtle scrunch. So it's not as big as some of the other scrunch shorts, but it's still going to give you something and make it look flattering. I also think the way they are stitched makes them look more intense and dramatic than the scrunch actually is when they're on. I mean, you'll see it on a try on clips, but yeah, I do think this gives you a nice subtle scrunch, and the contouring with the seams as well in that V just makes them even better. For sizing for these, I think I would just say stay true to size as much as possible. They do have lots of stretch, so if you are in between, go off how you like them to fit. So if you want them to be a bit tighter, then stay to a smaller size, and if you want them to be looser or have more material, then size up. The only other thing I have forgotten to mention so far is that some of these collections do have a short, regular and tall option. So I know for sure the Whitney leggings do, as well as the Vital 2.0. I'm not sure about Vital Sculpt, but Vital 2.0 definitely have different lengths. If you're above about 5'8", then you could probably opt for the tall ones and they're going to fit you much better. Okay, next moving on to another favourite of mine. I do think these are highly underrated. These are the everyday seamless leggings. These are the Lifting Essentials version, but they are the everyday seamless leggings. You can get these in so many colours, and again, similar to Whitney, they do feel like a second skin. The material is a bit finer, so some colours are not squat proof, I will say that, but these are still great. I find they stay in place really well for running because they have that ribbed waistband that just like sits really nicely on your waist. Again, they have that single seam running down the glutes, and they also have some really subtle rib contouring that goes under your glutes as well, just to help lift them a little bit. Because not every colour is squat proof, I wouldn't recommend wearing these for leg day. I think they're more of an upper body day, a running day, a cardio day. I wouldn't squat in these, but I just absolutely love the leggings for everything else. And for sizing, I think stay true to size again as much as possible. They are super stretchy, and I probably would say one of the most comfortable pairs of leggings Gymshark do. Okay, next up we are going to be talking about the Lyft Varsity leggings. I think these have actually been renamed to Lyft Campus. So if you're typing them in on the website, try Lyft Campus rather than Varsity. I'm not sure why they've changed their name. I'm pretty sure these were part of the Varsity collection. As you can see, they have the piping going all the way down the leg and on top of the glutes as well. They also have a pretty thick scrunch. It's probably about 2 centimeters across, so going up to 1 inch, so it is really going to sit in between your glutes. So if you don't like scrunch leggings, these ones are probably not for you, but if you do, I feel like you're going to absolutely love these. They remind me of the Lyft Contour leggings, which I do have a pair, so I will show you how they have the contouring obviously in the middle of the glute, but then they go all the way around the glute as well, so they really make your glutes like pop. These are really comfortable. They do have a thicker knitted material. They're quite compressive, but I wouldn't say overly compressive or restrictive, which is nice, and these are squat proof as well. And I feel like Gymshark haven't done detailing or a pattern like this with the piping going all the way down the leg, and it is ribbed as well just in that area. I think for sizing, stay true to size unless you are in between, then size up because these are going to give you lots of compression. Okay, next up we have the Adapt Fleck. There are quite a few different collections within the Adapt families, but obviously we have Adapt Animal, which I have shown you. We have Adapt Fleck, and then we also have Adapt Camo, which I will show you. I do believe there used to be another one called Adapt Pattern, and it had like a woodland print, like a twig print. I'm sure I have some of those shorts or leggings somewhere. I can't find them, but it used to be so good. But I do absolutely love the Adapt range. Again, I think this is more marketed towards gym goers and like people who work out in the gym, just because of the material and the structure of them. So very similar to the Adapt Animal, they are a thicker knitted material, still have lots of stretch in them, but I do think the Adapt Fleck are not as stretchy as the Adapt Animal or as the Adapt Camo. But a few things I do absolutely love about these is firstly the pattern. I think it's so subtle with the tonal flex, so it gives the leggings something without being like overly too much, and they can still be paired with lots of different bras and tops. But also the waistband is not as high as the other collections. So for me, the Adapt Fleck waistband sits right over the top of my belly button, where most of the other collections sit well above it, like up onto my hips. So it's nice to have a shorter version as well. So if you are a shorter torso girly, look into the Adapt Fleck and also the Adapt Camo, which I will show you. And then again, they just have that single seam that Gymshark love to do on all their leggings. I think for sizing for these, stay true to size. I've stayed true to size and I do absolutely love the way they fit. But if you don't like things to be overly compressive, then I probably would size up instead. And then the other Adapt pair is the Adapt Camo. So these are the old Adapt Camo leggings. I do believe the material is the same, it's just they have new styles now. So yeah, these are the old ones, but they are very similar to the other Adapt collections. They have that knitted, thicker material, but these are super stretchy and they are also ribbed as well, which actually I find super comfortable. Like I mentioned again, the waistband is slightly shorter on these, so great option if you do have a shorter torso or you don't want your leggings coming up really high. You still might be able to get these in some stores or have some sizes left in some colours, but these ones just have the camo print in the two tonal colours, which is nice. Again, Gymshark have given these a pattern, but without it being completely like out there and intense. I actually wore these on a run the other day and they stayed in place so well. So if you are looking for a running legging in these colder months, definitely a good option. The knitted material makes them a bit warmer and the thicker waistband does help it stay in place. So yeah, really good option for that. And again, stay true to size as much as possible in these. If you are in between, make a decision about how you want it to fit. If you want more material to work with, size up, and if you don't, size down. Okay, we are getting through these. I think I have 5 more normal pairs of leggings and then 3 pairs of the flared leggings. So next up we have the Legacy. These are another really great pair for cardio, for running, and I suppose I would say in the gym as well. I have worn them in the gym. I would say they are most similar to the Whitney leggings. So they have that second skin kind of feel, that really buttery soft material that's quite fine, also very stretchy. So once you've like pulled it up and molded it to your body, it stays in place and you kind of can't feel it, which is really good, especially on runs. They just have a huge Gymshark Legacy logo. So that's the old logo of Gymshark when they first started, which is nice. And they have the 2 seams from the sides running down a V into the back. So again, to give you that small scrunch. I think it's made the same way as the Whitney ones as well. So it looks more intense here than it is when it's actually on. The other thing to note about these is the waistband. So the waistband is super high, but I don't find it as compressive as most of the other collections. So if you don't want to be really tight around your waist, these are a really good option. For sizing, stay true to size as much as possible or size up. I do find they are a tiny bit tight on my calves, but I'm not sure if that's just because my calves have grown because I have done so much running. But yeah, something to note for that. And I do think the Legacy collection is another collection that do have the short, regular and tall sizing. Okay, next up we have the soft sculpt. So these are the new ones that have actually just come out. I think this colour is called the rich maroon, but there is other colours as well. I mean, I think there's blacks in most of these collections if you do want to just get a plain pair of leggings. But I always try and opt for a colour. These are very autumnal, so that's why I went for these. Again, they have that single seam running down the glutes. The waistband is slightly different, so it is a double thickness waistband, but instead of having like a rib lining, they've got like a different, I'm not sure what it's called, but I think it's meant to be so it sits really nicely and comfortably against your skin, which it definitely does. So that is a bonus of these. I also love how they have the tonal logo. So I know a lot of the leggings now have the white logos, but the tonal ones are so good, so you can't really see the brand when you're wearing it out and about. I do think these leggings are marketed more for lower intensity, maybe Pilates, yoga, or even just like everyday or rest days rather than in the gym. I have worn these leggings and the short versions as well before in the gym, but I know they are not completely marketed for that. So if you are looking for a gym pair of leggings, maybe stay away from these, but I think they're absolutely fine. I think for sizing, I would say stay true to size as much as possible. They do have lots of stretch in them. Okay, next up we have the Lyft Contour, or I think it's now known as the Lyft Seamless collection. So similar to the Lyft Varsity or Lyft Campus, they feel very similar. They are a really thick knitted material again, still have a good range of stretching, but if you are looking for BBL leggings, these are going to be the ones for you, as well as the campus ones. They have a huge scrunch and seam down the middle, as well as the contouring going all the way around to really separate your glutes. For me personally, I find that they fit really well over my glutes, but I have heard some people say that they don't fit that well on their glutes. Obviously everyone's glutes are going to be different, and to make them fit into these two holes there. I can see why that would be a problem. So but definitely worth trying them out because I found that they fit so well. Definitely a great pair of leggings for the gym. I feel really supported in these. The material also is quite soft as well, which is nice. And I think most of them, other than the black, have like a marl effect. So as you can see, it's like a burgundy and it just has like the black going through it. Okay, the next leggings are the running warmth leggings, which I feel like aren't talked about enough. They came out last year, but if you are a runner or getting into running and are going to be doing it in winter, these are so good. As you can see, they have a drawstring, which helps them stay up around your waist so well. They also have, I believe, like a small pocket on the back. Here we go. That's going to be great for a key. It's not going to be big enough for your phone, but for keys or sweets, trying to fit a gel in, that is going to be perfect. They're super high-waisted, really soft. They are a bit thicker as well, but have a thin fleece lining on the inside, so going to keep you really warm. And then the only other thing to mention is the reflective panelling. They do have this like reflective pipe detailing going all the way down the leg, and I do also believe that the logo is also reflective, so definitely great if you are running at this time of year. These are a little bit more expensive than a few of the other pairs of leggings, but I do think if you are specifically using them for running, I know you will get a lot of wear out of them, so they kind of are worth the investment. And for sizing for these, I think I would say stay true to size, or if you're in between, size down. I was sent the small, which is my normal size, and I feel like I might have got away with the extra small, but I would have to try them on to see if that was the case. Okay, last up we have the Corset seamless leggings. Now these are a pair I don't hear many people talking about, and I don't often reach for them. I think because I just have so many other pairs of leggings to choose from and that are really specific to activities like running or in the gym, that I always find like I never know when to wear these. But I do absolutely love the corset style contouring and detailing around the waistband. I think that's so nice and flattering. It has that V seams going down the glutes again. The material of these is definitely different than most of the other collections. It's not as soft, and I would say it's not as stretchy, so if you are in between sizes, definitely size up so you have more material. I do really like these, but just not a pair I reach for very often. Okay, now just to show you a few of the flared pairs of leggings. Okay, so first up we have the Whitney leggings. These are perfect for wearing every day. Exactly like the normal leggings, the material and feel of them is exactly the same, so they are really comfortable and a pair you can wear all day long and still feel absolutely fine in. Very similar detailing with the two seams around the front that go round into the back, so you do have that V. Just helps separate your glutes and make them look more flattering. I also think the flare part of this leg is really nice. It is flared, but it's not overly flared like some of my others, so they just look a lot more simple and more like trousers than like full-on flares. And again, I believe they do have different lengths in these, but for sizing, stay true to size as much as possible. Okay, another pair of navy blue flares. I've just recently got these. These are the soft sculpt flares. The difference with these is that the flare is, I think, much wider, so it's a much more obvious flare, which, I mean, for certain occasions I really like. Maybe not for in the gym, like I feel like I could get away with wearing the Whitneys in the gym, but these ones I probably wouldn't. But they are still super soft, super stretchy, really comfortable, and also I think really flattering. Out of all my flares, I think these are the most flattering ones, despite it just having that single seam running down the back. The only negative I would say about these is that they've only come out in one length and they are quite long. Like even for me, 5'5", longer legs, they are pushing it a little bit with being too long. Then the last pair of flared leggings I'm going to show you are the Vital leggings. So these are the Vital flared leggings. Again, they have quite a big flare, maybe not as big as the soft sculpt, but very similar to the Whitney. Despite these having the softer material of the Vital sculpt, they don't have the sculpt scrunch on the back. They just have the single seam like the normal 2.0 leggings, which doesn't make them as flattering as I think they could be, but still a really comfortable pair. Another really good pair for wearing all day, especially in winter, with it being a bit of a thicker material. And I feel like you can't go wrong with a good pair of black flares. For sizing, stay true to size as much as possible, but I do think, again, these are quite long. They are quite long on me. Maybe not as long as the soft sculpt, but still quite long, so just take that into account if you are on the shorter side. Okay, that is everything. I have gone through all my leggings, or at least all the collections. I do have other colours around and about, but that is most of the collections I have, I think. The only leggings I haven't got my hands on are the dipped waistband leggings, the power leggings, and the Apex lift and Apex seamless leggings. I have all those in shorts, which I absolutely love. I think they're amazing, but I just haven't tried them in leggings yet, so maybe something I will pick up soon. But I hope you found this helpful in running through all the leggings. Feel free to drop me a message or comment down below if you have any questions about any of them. All these leggings are going to be linked below, so you can find them really easily. And just a reminder that colours and sizes differ per store or per region, so yeah, it's worth checking your region and seeing what's in. What I've shown you here is from the UK store, so you might not have the colours or even that style in other regions, but mostly should be in. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with another video very soon.